don't even know why no one else ever thought about this. So I have some major news today. My brows are gonna be first cousins for the first time ever. Fenty Beauty, thank you. Fenty Beauty launched brow pencils this morning. Yes, I was in Sephora this morning. I picked up 2 shades of the brow collection. There are 14 shades. Yes, 14 shades. Okay, cartons. 14 new shades of brow pencils. Just when you thought Rihanna could not beat the brow game, she did. Okay, so I picked up 2 shades just to show you guys 2 different options. The 2 shades I got are dark brown and black brown. I did one brow in black brown and the other brow in dark brown. That's like a tongue twister, kind of. Not really. I figured one of these 2 shades would be my favorite, and I definitely have a favorite out of the 2. So you guys will see which one I like the best in this video. You also will see me apply the brow products, obviously. I'm just gonna get a little closer so I can show you guys what these pencils look like up close, and we'll jump right into the tutorial. So this is what the pencils look like. They are white with the Fenty logo, and they also have this little brown part at the top. The brown part corresponds to the shade, so the darker one is a darker brown and the lighter pencil has a lighter brown little band across it. So before even opening the pencil, you could already see the shade that you're going to pick up, which is really cool. I've never seen that with brow products. So the first shade I got is called the first shade I'm going to show you guys is dark brown, and this one I thought was going to be the one that I liked the most. So this is what it looks like right here. Even on the inside, the shade does match the actual packaging, which is so cool. And I'm going to swatch that one so you guys can see right here. Don't mind this horrible swatch. So this is what it looks like right here. And then this is the black brown shade. As you can see, the color does correspond again. And then I'm going to swatch it for you guys once again. So black brown is right here on top, and then below it is the dark brown. I swatched them really close so you guys can see the difference. One is definitely a lot darker. So on the other end of Rihanna's brow pencils is this little brush. This is the coolest part of the product because I've never seen this before. This reminds me of the Artiste brushes. She definitely did something different. Didn't do the regular spoolie on the other end. She used this little brush, which is actually really nice. I wasn't sure how it would feel when I was using it. I thought it was going to be like softer, but it's actually really hard and stiff. So it does really brush your brow hairs up, and I actually like it more than a spoolie, which is really odd. I don't even know why no one else ever thought about this, but Rihanna's definitely very innovative with like everything she does, so I am not surprised at how different this is. So this is what it looks like. You can see the little bristles, really nice, and I just love it. All right, y'all, so I'm going to show you guys how I applied my brows using the Fenty Brow pencils. So before you start filling your brows in, you do want to make sure that the shape is really nice and, you know, the shape that you want. I usually go into one of these razors if my brow is not recently threaded or tweezed or whatever. Like, I have trust issues when it comes to like brow threaders, so a lot of times I just use one of these and I just clean it up under, like right here. I did this yesterday, so I'm not gonna do it again, but I just go right under here, and then I kind of just go on the top a little bit to just make it a little cleaner. So you can get one of these razors. They're really cheap on Amazon or like your beauty supply store. So yeah, that's pretty much what I do with my brow grooming in between getting it threaded. So today I decided to use the shade dark brown in the pencil. I'm going to start with the brush side. This brush is really cool, and I love how Rihanna finds a way to be different every single time. But I usually go up. Oh, this is actually a hard, stiff brush. Wow, I like this. So she always finds a way to be really different when you think like you can't be any more different. Like, she finds a way. So I'm just going to brush these up like this. So I usually start out at the bottom of my brow, and I start doing light strokes of my brow product. So really light. I'm just going to show you guys how light I go. Like really light, like this light. If you go dark, or I mean, if you go harder, you're going to get a really hard line. And you just want to start with lighter so you can build it up eventually. You don't want to start really hard right away. Once you make a really hard line, it's hard to erase it. But you could always build up if you want to add, you know, more color. So I'm just going to start drawing a line right under. I just decided that I'm going to show you guys the other color on my other brow because this one is kind of light, a little lighter than I thought it would be. I just continue to go under my entire brow. When you get to the tail part right here, you can go darker because you can go harder and darker because you do want that part to be a little bit darker than the rest of your brow. I want to take this out. So I'm going to start brushing the product up through my brow. And then I'm going to start adding this throughout my brow, like just like this. I'm just making little brush strokes as if like I'm making little hairs all throughout my brow. I like my brows to go up most of the time. You just want to go in the direction that your brow hair grows in, so just follow that direction. I'm going to comb through it. And then I'm just going to keep adding more color until it's as dark as I want it to be. When you get to the front, you do want to use a very light hand, like literally barely touching, because you do not want that area to be dark at all. And just go in and just fan it out once you do your little light strokes. So for the top part right here, I'm going to just draw a line. And then we're just going to brush up again to just kind of hide that line, but it's going to be there to add definition. Use my finger to kind of clean up anything that I want to clean up. And that's pretty much the brow that I'm going to go with today, like more on the natural side. I really like it. It looks really nice. And this color is definitely going to give you a very, very natural looking brow. So on the other brow, I'm going to use the shade Black Brown. So this is a deeper color in the Fenty line. And she's going to start the same exact way. I'm going to start by brushing my hair up. I actually already did this earlier, but I'll show you guys again. Just brush the hair up like this. Now this brow has... take this away. This brow has a little bit of a weird situation going on back here, so I usually try to cut and groom that area so it's not as wild looking. So I'm gonna just cut it real quick. I'm gonna use this little scissors and just kind of cut these excess hairs off. Still looks crazy, but it's a little better. We'll fix it with the brow pencils. I'm gonna go in with this pencil instead. Again, I'm gonna go really light with it and just build it up as I go. So we're just gonna go right under here and start making short strokes. I think I like this color a lot better actually. Like I usually go for a deeper, darker brow. I'm more used to this color because most of my brow pencils are darker brown, like really dark. Okay, so this line looks really good. I use a really light hand, and I'm just gonna start going up a little bit with the pencil. And again, just really short strokes. One of the biggest things or most common things people do wrong when they fill their brows in is they just make one big line, and that will just mess you up. Like you will not have a cute brow. So just don't do that, okay? Usually when people ask me to help them with their brows, I ask them like, how do you do it right now? And the most common thing I hear is that they just make one big line, or they're using something that's just not good for brows, like an eyeliner, or the color is like way too dark. Those are the main things that people tell me when I ask them like what they're currently doing with their brows. Doing short strokes is gonna give you a much more natural looking eyebrow though. I'm gonna brush upward. I'm actually gonna do the top line right now. So again, once again, I'm gonna just comb through and fluff out everything, make sure it's nice and natural looking. I freaking love this color. Like, alright, so both my brows are done. I'm gonna go ahead and conceal them with some concealer. I really love this brow a lot. Like, this is definitely my favorite color in the pencils. It works really well for my skin tone, and also just like really matches my brow style better. This style is a lot more natural, and I can use this, but I just feel like it's a lot more natural than I usually go for. So to clean up my brows, I'm going to go in with this MAC concealer. This is really old, but I really like it. This is in the shade NC45. I like to use a really flat brush like this one to carve my brows out. It just gives me more control, and it makes it look very sharp. So I'm just going to go right under and start carving away. You also want to do this with short strokes until you get comfortable enough to do like one big line, you know. You do want to drag the concealer down a little bit, because if you just leave it right under your brow, it looks very strange. So that's if you're going with a lighter concealer. If your concealer matches your complexion, then you don't need to worry about that part. Using a lighter concealer will help highlight that area more, which I personally do like. Okay, so this is how I carve out the bottom of my brow. But with the top, most times I do use foundation. Sometimes I will use concealer, but foundation just gives you a more natural look. So I'm just gonna go ahead and blend this in some more. I like using these brushes to blend out my under eye concealer. I know it's not dirty, but whatever, y'all. Like, I only use these to blend out my concealer, so I know it's just concealer on here. So I just go down and blend it in to the rest of my eyelid, and just fade it out so that way it's not like a big bright line under your brow, which, you know, I've definitely done that a lot, and I still do it like once in a while because I'm like in a rush or I just don't take the time to do my brows, which, you know, it's whatever. I'm gonna take a little dab of concealer and just kind of dab it on so that it blends a little bit better. This brush is from Luxie, by the way, and they're the only ones I know with these types of brushes. So from the middle here, I just usually go like this. You know, if I mess up the front of my brow and I like make it too dark, sometimes I will take my concealer and literally just press in like this with this brush to help like blend it or make it a little bit lighter. I am loving these brows, y'all. Like, I actually like both sides, and I don't think they look super different, but I can definitely tell like this one is a little bit deeper than this one. I'm sure you can tell also. I'm actually going to do the top part of my brow just to show you guys how I would do it. So today I wanted to use the Pat McGrath foundation, so I'm going to use that. Foundation is a lot more liquid, so you have to be really careful with this part. So I'm going to take my same brush and I'm going to go into the foundation, and then I'm going to blend out into my face. One of the reasons why I actually like doing the top of my brow, besides my brows looking way more fierce, when I do my foundation, most of the times I am using a beauty blender. And when I do my brows like this with the concealer on the top, I don't have to go so far into my brow with the beauty blender. I stop the beauty blender right up here. I don't have to worry about messing up my brows. So these are my brows. Okay, let me go up close so you guys can see. I'm going to finish off my makeup and I'll be back to show you guys the whole look with my brows on and everything. So, let's see. So I threw on the rest of my makeup and this is what my brows look like, you guys. I really love the way they look. These brow pencils are bomb. I definitely love them. I mean, I feel like Fenty is just bomb in general, but the brow pencils, in my opinion, are really good. These are definitely the MVP. I really love the shade Black Brown. I think that it works really well on my skin tone, and then next to my hair color, I think it works the best. And if you wanted a little bit more natural, then I would go with the dark brown shades. So this is what they look like, you guys. I love it. Comment down below if you're going to be picking up these brow products. Leave me a comment, a like, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye. Love you.